Hello everyone and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Peace be to you, my friends. Today I want to recommend to you one of my favorite books. It's called The Myth of Normal, about trauma, illness, and healing in a toxic culture by Gabor and Danielle Maté. So I'm gonna show you the book first. This is it. It's around 500 pages long. Because it's long, but it's not boring. I guarantee you that it goes deep into very, very important issues that I think we need to be aware of. And it's very insightful, and it includes a lot of research. And it's very digestible. It's not like too hard to understand. It's fairly easy to comprehend. I didn't find it hard to read, and it was a good read. I'll be honest, the first time I read it, I was like, man, this is depressing. I don't want to read it. But then I came back to it, and it's like, wow, I loved it. I really enjoyed it. So it's about how normality is a myth, and how we are living in a culture that is toxic, and it is causing trauma, illness, and it also talks about ways in which we can heal. At the end of the book, it talks about the healing process. So I'm going to read to you some of the things people said about this book that's written on the back of this book's cover. I think it'll be important just for us to understand what it's about. This beautifully written tale has profound implications for all of our lives, including the practice of medicine and mental health. A thorough and inspiring work of the heart, this book urges us to question our assumptions and think deeply about who we are and how we can live more fully and freely, harnessing the power of the mind to bring healing and wholeness into our shared lives on earth. Wise, sophisticated, rigorous, and creative, and intellectual and compassionate investigation of who we are and who we may become. Essential reading for anyone with a past and a future. Gabor and Danielle Maté have delivered a book in which readers can seek refuge and solace during moments of profound personal and social crisis. The Myth of Normal is an essential compass during disorienting times. Gabor Maté articulates bluntly, brilliantly, and passionately what all of us instinctively know, but none of us really want to face. The entire social construct of the world we're living in is deeply flawed, with toxicities on every level. I think this quote resonates with me the most, and that's what I felt reading this book. I felt like it really talked to me about how the world that we're living in, the system and the culture, is flawed and toxic on every single level. And it goes deep, really deep, into very different subjects that I think you would be interested in. You might be. The Myth of Normal is an astonishing achievement, epic in scope and yet profoundly down to earth and practical. Gabor Maté is a physician who, from my understanding, first, he's written many books and about addiction. He's an expert in addiction, and he's a physician for people who treats people with addiction. And basically that's what I know about him. And you can find one of his talks online, or his podcasts where he gets interviewed on podcasts. You can find that all on YouTube and get to know more about him, more about his work, more about the book. But anyways, I think if you're interested in understanding the world and the culture we're living in, I think this is very important. Or if you just want to find, some peace, some comfort, knowing that you are not alone suffering, and that we're all going through a personal and social crisis during these times, because the culture and the system, the culture is toxic, and the system that we've built for ourselves is no longer sustainable. and it is affecting us deeply on every single level: our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health. And I think one of the main points, the messages of this book that we understand early on in this book, is that as human beings, we have two needs, according to Gabor Mate. We have two essential needs. Aside from our physical needs of food, shelter, water, and things like that, we have two essential needs. One is attachment, the need to feel attached to your parents, for example, as a child. You want to feel accepted by them, accepted by those around you. That is one of our needs. And the other need is authenticity, the ability to be who we are freely, without fear. And these two things, here's a problem. Early on in life, we learn that we have to give up one of our needs for the other to be met. For example, you're not loved when you are authentic. You are rejected, alienated, isolated, because you want to be who you really are. You're told to be in a certain way. And so one of your needs are not met. The need to be authentic, to be who you are, is not met because you want to be accepted. You want to be loved. And that's because of conditional loving. And so that's basically some hints about the book and what it speaks to. And yeah, check it out. You can find it. I don't know where you can find it. Just look it up online. And I think it's a really good read. I really enjoyed it. And it's sad that there are not many books like that. But that's my that's my message and video for you today. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Peace.